Hi, Assalamualaikum, and good morning, everyone. So today we continue what we have learned yesterday. So today we talk about the concept of biomimicry. We can say that one of the most promising approaches is biomimicry, which bring the ideas and the concept of nature and implementing them in the field of technology. So what is the definition of biomimicry? So we can define biomimicry as the emulation of the model, the system, the elements of nature for the purpose of solving the complex human problem. So what are some examples of biomimicry that uh, we have here? For example, we have a safer windows that inspired by the spider webs. Uh, this is the glass panel that inspired by the properties of spider web, and spider web with a UV reflective strand of silk into the webs to prevent the birds from flying through. And this spider weave, they are invisible to human. The spider-inspired principle of including a UV strand in glass has been used by a company that called Onilux, a company that has created a transparent, bird-friendly glass. We know that birds can see a glass quite well, and so many of them died when they hit the picture windows. The human, they can't see glass well either, which might explain why some people try to walk through glass door. But most people know that the reflection of the sky and the landscape in a window is not real. But unfortunately, birds don't think that way. So this is the example of a mimicking form. We mimic something from the spider and implement it in the production of a glass panel to create a bird a friendly glass panel. So the glass has a pattern, a UV reflective coating that is visible to birds, but virtually transparent to the human eye. And this is quite similar to the concept of spider webs. And this helps to reduce the bird's collision with a glass building. And the spider web design is just barely visible to the human eye when the glass is viewed against a backlight, but ordinary ordinarily does not spoil the view, and the coating makes no reduction in the glass transparency. So as you can see in the figure here, this is how we see the glass. We can see nothing in the glass. We can just see a clear glass, but this is how the birds see the glass, and this will help to prevent the birds from colliding onto the glass panel. Other than that, we have this creating a high performance chemicals with carbon dioxide. As we can see in nature, carbon dioxide is a feedstock that used in materials production process like photosynthesis. And we have a company here named Novomer Incorporated that is a sustainable materials company that create a process to convert carbon dioxide to produce a family of low cost with a high performance organic chemicals that can be used to form a sustainable form and also plastic. As we know, global economies, they are desperately in search of a replacement to traditional polymers and chemical intermediates produced from non-renewable feedstock. And this company since 2016 has been owned and used by a Saudi Arabian company, Saudi Aramco. Now we move on to the concept of super hydrophobicity. So what is a super hydrophobicity? It generally refers to the surface with a contact angle exceeding 150 degree. And the water droplet on a hydrophobic surface can sweep dust, particle that existing on the surface. For example, the dust particle and existing on the surface can efficiently be removed under the rain. We have a few examples of a super hydrophobic coating that is available. So a super hydrophobic coating can be made from many types of different materials. For example, we have a manganese oxide polystyrene and a composite. We have a zinc oxide polystyrene and then a composite, precipitated calcium carbonate, carbon nanotube structure, and also we have a silica nanocoating. And as we can see, a super hydrophobic coating have many applications in various industry. For example, in anti-fog coating, uh, we can also use it for antifreeze surfaces, oil and water separation to create antibacterial surfaces. And also we can apply a super hydrophobic coating in a medical application. Here we have some example of application of a self-cleaning technology. We can apply it as anti-reflective or transparent coating, and for the use of a building, heritage building especially, for self-cleaning toilet, for architectural heritage, for photovoltaic devices, solar cell. Also, we can use the self-cleaning technology to fabricate self-cleaning fabrics and textile, and also for flexible super hydrophobic surfaces. Here we can see that we can apply a self-cleaning technology for the purpose of anti-corrosion, anti-snow, and anti-freezing self-cleaning technology. For example, here in cold atmosphere, super cool water tends to form ice accumulation on the surface, and this natural phenomenon can cause a serious effect on the mankind industrial system, especially for in power network, air freight, travel, traffic, and so on. And also we can apply self-cleaning technology in a self-cleaning concrete. Uh, if you don't know, self-cleaning concrete is an innovative concept, construction material that has been developed uh, to provide a self-cleaning ability of concrete surfaces by retaining the color for a longer period, along with a property to be able to remove a toxin, remove airborne toxin, particularly nitrogen oxide or NO2. So air pollution is one of the most significant factors that deteriorating this building facade in most high density urban air contexts, and a valid solution for decreasing the effect of deterioration is we just simply apply a self-cleaning material that mix with the paint of the building facade in the polluted areas. And instead of repainting the whole building elevation, we can apply a self-cleaning material because it is more practical for us to maintain clean facade for a longer period of time. So one of the example of material that we can use is a titanium oxide. It is considered as one of the material that has a high photocatalytic activated when illuminated with UV light. And titanium oxide coatings appear to have a self-cleaning property, like I have mentioned. When it exposed to sunlight, it will react with water to generate hydroxyl radical, which break down organic molecules and microbes that absorb on the surface. And when rains occur, the water spread out on the hydrophilic titanium oxide and coating and washes away the dust and dirt. Titanium oxide is a white pigment that widely used in paint, medicine, paper, sunscreen, and a toothpaste. Other applications include photocatalysis and solar cell coating. So in the figure here, we can see various routes of fabrication for self-cleaning surfaces. So we have a deep coating, spray coating, and spin coating. We have a chemical deposition, electrolysis, layer by layer assembly, electrospray, electrospinning method, and we have a chemical etching, also known as chemical milling or photo etching, where a subtractive sheet metal machining process which use chemical etchant to create a complex and highly accurate precision components from almost any metal. And then we have lithographic patterning. It is a method of transferring a two-dimensional pattern to a flat substrate. Right, so now we try to associate the concept of a cleaning technology and the COVID-19. So antimicrobial and self-cleaning nanomaterial coatings have attracted significant research attention in recent years. Although not dominant mode of exposure, there is evidence that the SARS, CoV2, and many other pathogens can stay viable on the high touch surfaces for hours and even to days. And the coating technologies based on engineered nanomaterial, ENMs, can help to inactivate the pathogen. So we have a nanoform of copper and silver, the two well-known anti-pathogenic substances that is much more toxic than the bulk form. So the ENPs often have properties that differ from the corresponding bulk material. For example, here we have a nanoform of copper and silver, the two well-known anti-pathogenic. These are much more toxic than the bulk form. And these two metal nano compound such as silica dioxide, titanium dioxide, zinc oxide, the carbon nanotubes, and graphene oxide, all these are effective against envelope viruses such as SARS-CoV-2 as a nanomixture of silver and copper with the iron, iodine, chlorine, and sulfur. If you don't know, a viral envelope is the outermost layer of many types of viruses. It protects the genetic material in their life cycle when traveling between the host cell. Now we will be talking about photosensitizers, and these materials contain a substance that we call as a photosensitizers. Excuse me. When exposed light and oxygen, the photosensitizers will produce molecules that we call as a reactive oxygen species. And this highly reactive form of oxygen, it can cause a fatal damage to microbes that landed on the material. And the source of light could be something as simple as sunlight, an abundant, freely available resource, although artificial lighting or light from a specialized source such as a fiber optics or LED can also be used. And these materials to produce a light activated self-disinfecting polymer sheet and film. And this could very easily be used as a surface overlay and coating for items such as a door handle, handrail, the worktop, and a touch screen, and manufactured with an adhesive backing. They would not require any specialist installation. It would be as simple as applying a sticky back plastic or just replacing a screen protector on a smartphone. And we can say that the raw materials used are relatively inexpensive. So our approach is likely to be more cost effective than some antimicrobial materials that are currently on the market. Many of them use silver as the active ingredient, which can be acquired expensive. And the materials would not only be useful in controlling the transmission of a viral disease with the antibiotic resistant bacteria, as we know, it is an ever increasing threat to the global health. They could also help to control the spread of a so-called superbug in hospital. Currently, as we know, the world is focused on the COVID-19, a drug-resistant infection. Unfortunately, it's not haven't gone away, and we have a growing list of a disease, for example, tuberculosis and blood poisoning, and they are becoming harder, sometimes impossible to treat. I think that's all for today. Thank you for listening and have a good day ahead. Thank you.